Welcome to the GameChangher podcast. It's me, your girl, Nat, and of course, my beautiful bestie over here.
Me, your girl, Nick.
Hi, girl.
Hey.
Well, cheers. Let's see.
Cheers, yes, to a new episode.
New episode.
Opportunity for us to chit-chat.
And for us to drink wine.
Hopefully you guys have your drinks. We're actually not drinking wine right now. This is good old-fashioned lemonade.
Well, yeah.
And it's so good, y'all. So good. It's a little tart.
Mine is spiked.
Oh, really? Okay. That's how it goes. That's how we rolling tonight.
I spiked my lemonade.
Okay.
With a little love.
With a little love.
So, how you been?
Good. You know, time is just rolling on by. Like,
Yeah.
it's so amazing to me how time just goes by so fast. Like, we're almost middle of the year.
Yeah.
Like, and I think about starting, you know, when you start off the year and you're like, oh, you want to do all these things, and you start writing down your list and, you know, all the things that you want to accomplish. Like, I'm halfway in the year and I haven't gotten through some of the stuff that I should have gotten through at this point. So it's like, okay, we got another 6 months to go, but time just waits for no man.
It doesn't. I tell people, like, now is the perfect time to plan the rest, like, to plan your third and fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. Second quarter really kind of equals your fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean by that?
No. So, because for some, like, do you mean in the sense that some businesses actually ends their year mid-year, like
Nope.
fiscal year versus, no?
First quarter, people are, like, setting up their dreams and their goals, and they're trying to put all their pieces together and see what all is about to happen for them for that year. But I feel like your second quarter, you've gotten a lot of those pieces together. So your second quarter equals your fourth quarter. So now that you've gotten all of those pieces together, you should be like fine-tuned enough to to push that second quarter through, kill your third quarter, and crush your fourth quarter.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I feel like your second quarter equals like the weight of your fourth quarter. So now, but your first quarter, you're just really trying to get it all together.
Right.
The second quarter, you got it all together. Now it's time to.
That's a different way
Kill
to
it.
look at it. Yeah, no.
Would
I
you
like
agree
it.
with that,
I
or
like
what do you
it.
think?
No, I do. I like it.
Yeah, that's how I kind of feel like my second quarter is my second quarter is my equals my
Fourth
fourth
quarter.
quarter.
Okay.
So now it's time to really like look at those, like, your realistic pieces of your puzzle and put everything and align it together to hit your goals for fourth quarter.
Yeah. So what do you do when you have so many different juggling pieces and projects, and, you know, how do you determine what to prioritize over what? Because I think that that's an area for me that I probably need to work a little bit better on, is really fine tuning the list and then making sure that I'm allocating time for everything and nothing gets lost in the shuffle. And then I actually end up at the end of the year accomplishing. I can check off the list to say, okay, I got this done and this done.
Yeah. I think the first thing to do is kind of like eliminate the shit that you don't need. You know what I mean? Like if it's not really going to get you there, like just be like,
Take
I'm
it
about
out.
to
Yeah.
stop this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That even went from like
I did some-
relationships.
I did some of that last year. Yeah.
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 Yep. I was like, nope, I don't want
Yeah.
that anymore.
Yeah.
That's kind of a distraction, or it's not even getting me anywhere. So I'm about to
Yeah.
just take that off. But then for the things like for me with multiple businesses, for me it's kind of like, you know, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, between that 4 and 6 o'clock, we have airtight, right? But then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the morning, I had another company that I spent time with. So it's kind of, and then, but Tuesdays and Thursdays is just really me. And my Tuesdays and Thursdays, but now that may shift going into the summertime because my kids are home.
Right. Right. Yes, the kids are out of school
Lord.
already, guys.
But that may be, teachers are cheering.
That just changes the whole dynamic.
Teachers are cheering, but parents are like, God,
What
to
am I
be
gonna
more
do with
careful.
y'all
Right.
for the next couple of
You
months?
find a year-round school for these children. AJ, our producer on the back end, he's like, no. AJ, our engineer, he's like, like, come get your kids. But no, that's, but for me, that's kind of, it's easier for me to block it. Like, you know, I work with Shamir on Tuesday mornings for my personal brand. You know, so I kind of just like clump it. So I would say that, especially for people that have jobs, like a 9 to 5, it's, you know, you work your 9 to 5 with integrity, right? But then your lunchtime, like if you have another hustle or another little business, then you take your lunch break and handle your business then.
Yeah, that's what I did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would use my lunch break for like if I had Zooms or if I had like courses that I was taking, I didn't want to take the time during my regular, 9 to 5 situation. I would use my breaks or specifically my lunch break to have my
Yeah.
personal items taken care of.
Yeah. So I think a lot of that, and then still trying to make sure, like this. Now I got off whack the kids last semester with kind of like my typical schedule because both of my children, they go to a magnet school for music. So because they were preparing for their spring show, their end of the school year show, they had to stay at school almost till like 8 and 9. So it didn't make sense for me to cook dinner, right? So we would kind of just, unfortunately, just kind of grab dinner because at the school they would kind of bring them something to eat. So I kind of got off my schedule with that, but just trying to really lay out a schedule. I'm not like let me look at the time. It's time for this. But at least I get myself in a good flow of, I know Tuesdays, it's my personal brand day. I know Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is this. And I know that, Wednesday night, we're here filming, so it's kind of like the flow.
Right. I think that you said something earlier that really resonated with me, and that was like trying to just eliminate all of the stuff that isn't in line with your purpose or what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and that includes people. And that's like easier said than done, especially if you've had relationships with people that span years, like a whole life cycle, right? Like, how do you go about really making sure that you still keep the integrity of the relationship, but also making it clear that, you have things that you're trying to accomplish that you don't want to allocate time that's not really going to serve you.
Yeah.
Without making that person feel like, oh, she's being bougie, or she's, just acting like she's too much, or she's better than me, or whatever.
Yeah. So I still have relationships, even with some relatives, that I have to maybe check myself because I don't want to have everything being so tight to where if we're not sitting down having a glass of wine and it's not, I I don't want to talk about business all the time. But then at the same time, I don't want to waste my time with just foolishness. So you're not gonna catch me at a club, and you're not gonna catch me, just out there, just like you won't catch me there. But I will say, you know what? Let's just go relax and go to the Mexican restaurant. Like that'll
That's
be
how
me
you
and my
spend your
cousins.
time.
That
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be like, come on, you want Mexican? So she'll know if I call and say let's go eat some Mexican. That means we about to just chill, laugh, and have some margaritas and some chips and queso and just chill out. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So it's kind of like, and then we call each other like raunchy names and laugh, and you know what I'm saying? I mean, because it's just like us letting our hair down. But that's kind of just like my safe space. But like a club or something like that, nah, I'm good on that.
Yeah, I passed through. That was a phase like my 20s, some in my 30s, but it was just never my thing to begin with. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I was never that chick. But my priorities are just so different now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older and, my focus is more like my son, my family, my husband, and
Yeah.
then, all of the projects, businesses, and things that I'm doing. It's like I don't want to waste. And again,
Yeah.
it goes back to not wanting to waste
Waste
time.
time.
I don't want to waste time doing some of the silly stuff.
Yeah.
Like I used to be a big TV watcher. Like now, every once in a while I'll turn the TV on.
Yeah.
I used to watch news. That's first thing
Oh, yeah,
I get
no.
up in the morning. I don't do that anymore because there's so much
It's
negativity.
depressing.
It is depressing.
You know what? Let me tell you. So the news used to play in the morning on the TV. I'd have it playing. And I kid you not, it was like every morning I turned on and it talked about a house fire. So I started getting paranoid and cutting my stuff off. Like,
It's depressing.
is, let me, I'm like, Carson, did you cook something? And he was
Right.
like, yeah. I'm like, I mean, did you cut the pilot off? He's like, the pilot. I was like, did you cut the stove off? Make sure is the microwave plugged all the way in? He's like, Mama, what in the world? Because make sure no batteries are touching. I'm like getting paranoid off of these house fires.
It's a thing. I mean, after a while, that stuff really starts to impact your psyche.
Yeah.
And like every once in a while, you'll notice that they'll talk about something really positive, but it's so far and few between.
Yeah.
And then, all around that is just like murders that are happening, children that are missing, wars that are happening. You're like,
Yeah.
what the hell? I remember having a conversation with my dad, and he was like, he's a big CNN buff, right? But it like really started to affect his mind to the point where he would just start asking like really weird questions, and you could tell like he was so caught up in what was going on, and I was like, Dad, you really need to pull back.
Yeah.
Because like watching all of this stuff is not good. It's good in a sense. You want to be up to date with what's going on around you, but yeah, all of that negativity is
Yeah,
just not
I
good
can't do it.
for your mental health.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So I was having a conversation with, it was my mom, and we were at my cousin's house, and we were talking about education. And I remember like children and education and children going to college. So I remember one day my mom was having a conversation with my kids, and she was like, I mean, well, what college do you want to go to? But then I started seeing and noticing my daughter, like if people talked about college, she would kind of like
Pull back a little bit.
go back, right? And so my mom would kind of press on college, and then I think she just realized like last weekend that there's other alternatives other than college. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is
yeah.
what do you
Yeah.
feel like? Do you feel like it's still kind of like your kids grow up, get a safe, secure job, go to college and then get a safe, secure job?
That's such a great question. So when I think about when I was that age, like getting ready to leave high school to go to college, like it was just like something that was expected. We never had that it was just like, you're going to college. There was no ifs, ands. There was no discussion about other alternatives or other options. It was like, okay, so what applications are you putting through, and
Yeah.
are you going to be in the state that you're living in, or out? Like it was just a natural progression, and the
Right.
expectation was, yeah, you're going to college. Now, I'm the first in my family to go to college. It was a big deal. Because of all of the things that I've seen in my own experience, being in corporate and now being on the other side, being my own boss, I understand that there are multiple ways to success. You don't
Yeah.
have to necessarily like go to college and get a degree in order to be successful. So from the time that Trey was in middle school and even like most recently in high school, now that he's getting closer to that time frame where he's got to figure out what he wants to do. He still doesn't know what he wants to do. He's like that kid too. Like when we talk about college, he pulls back because
Yeah.
I think he's just like overwhelmed. But what I've told him was, you're going to do something.
Right.
The option isn't there for you to graduate high school and be at home and do nothing.
Yeah,
So
you
you're
gotta do
either going to the military, you're going to open up your own business, you're going to college, or you're going to start a business. Like I gave him those four options. And for me, because I've seen so many success stories and so many entrepreneurs that are doing the damn thing without a college education, like the wool has been pulled off my eyes. And I realized like you don't really have to go to college to be in position to succeed. So I haven't really pushed that with him. We've had the conversation and he's like he made the decision that he wants to go to college. And I think for a lot of kids that are in high school, their friends have a lot of influence over what it is that they're looking to do.
Yeah.
Right. So most of his friends are going to college. So, he's naturally leaning towards that. I don't think he knows at this point what he wants to go to college to do, but that's fine. How long did it take me to figure out what I wanted to do? Like I was a
Yeah.
grown ass adult and I still,
Right.
what do I want to do? What do I want to be? So I'm giving, I'm allowing him time to process and to work through that internally. But yeah, I don't think that it's necessary now for us to push our kids
Yeah.
in that direction. I don't think it's something that
agree.
back in the day when our parents was like, oh, you have to go to college and get a good job. Like all of that shit is out the door. Like it's
Yeah.
a total different day and age.
Yeah. I mean, internet has made it a lot easier to educate yourself, and there's a lot of even I think my aunt was saying when she was at the table, she was like, well, we can do certifications, like, because she's an educator. She was like, you almost don't even have to go to school to be a teacher. Like, there's certifications that you have to just pass. And I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And then I hear about teachers using Chat GPT or using AI for,
Right.
to write lesson plans and all
Right.
of that type of stuff. So it's just so many things are open. But I do, like I told my daughter, I was like, listen, I'm not going to press college on you. But what I am going to press is the not being mediocre. Like,
Whatever it is that you do, you're gonna be excellent at it. There's no
Yeah.
if,
Right.
And I tell my son that the
Yeah.
same thing. Like, there's nothing about you that's average.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And both of us, we have talented kids, so it's kind of like there's no excuse to not be. It's just it's like now just trying to help them understand, like, where do you have your passion? You know, what do you love to do? And so I was excited. One of my stepsons, he managed one of my restaurants downtown, and I was excited for him. I think he was afraid to tell me that he wanted to be a mechanic, and I'm like, so I don't be the best mechanic you can.
Right.
And he went to Mercedes. He got a job in Mercedes, and then became one of Mercedes' top master mechanics.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? And you can make over 6 figures being a master mechanic for Mercedes. So it's kind of like, I don't mind. Like, I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
It's just love what you do, and do it with like integrity and with all of your heart. You know?
Yeah. The one thing that I've recognized with Trey is that, he grew up with parents that worked all the time. And so he understands the importance of finance and being able to have enough in order to have choices. When you don't
Right.
have money, you don't have choices. I
Right.
mean, it's just, when you have enough, you can decide on vacations, you can decide on where you want to live and what kind of house you want to live in and what kind of car you want to buy. But without the cash flow, without the finances to back that up, you're limited in options.
Right.
And so he's gotten used to being able to go on vacations. I grew up without ever being on vacation with my family. My family couldn't afford it, right? He's been out of the country a few times.
Yeah.
You know, he's grateful
You've been
for
to
it.
Tokyo.
He's been to Tokyo recently, and I'm so proud of that. So he's gotten used to having a certain visibility into the world and understand there's more to life than the little city that we live in, to the point where, like, now I could tell that he's going to be that kid that wants to have the same experience or even better.
Right.
So I said, son, you know, if you want this type of lifestyle, you like this type of car, it comes with you having this type of money.
Yes.
Right? And that narrows down things, I think, quite a bit. So it's almost like having the conversation with your children to decide what are your passions, what do you like to do, and then what are your goals in life? Because not every kid wants to be, you know, living a certain type of lifestyle, right?
Right.
But for him, like, financially, he wants to be in a good financial situation, and it's like, well, how do you go about figuring out to mirror both?
Right.
How do I get into something that I like, but that's also going to pay me, compensate me, and give me the opportunity to live the way that I want to live?
Yeah.
And so it's having those conversations. And that's a lot on a kid to figure out at 16, 17.
It is. And I feel like you got to really kind of be careful because we do put so much on them. It's like, what do you want to do when you get older? And now my daughter did say something. She was like, well, she almost like she needs to see more to really kind of decide. Like, she was like, I don't know, because I need to see more things.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, that makes sense. So I took her to the circus. I was like, would you like to be in the She's like, no, Mom. You don't want to be. I was like, I'm just trying to broaden your.
Try to get you some exposure.
We're at the circus.
Right.
Have
Well,
you-
what does she like to do?
Well,
I know
I mean-
she likes to sing.
Yeah, but I don't think singing like I don't think singing like what she wants to do
That professionally.
professionally.
Okay.
They have beautiful, beautiful voices, but it's not like they want to be known for that.
Okay.
You know, I remember my son saying, like, now for him, he did mention he wanted to be an immigration attorney. He didn't like how the immigrant like were being bullied at the border. He did not like that. He was like, Mom, I want to be an immigration attorney. Now, I think he could have changed that by now. But, like, stuff like that, you'd have to, of course, go to school for.
Right. And that, you know, that's funny because that's what I wanted to study. Like, I
Really?
studied law and justice. That was
Okay.
the degree that I got in college. And it was family law, immigration law, because I'm from another country, and I understand, like, how difficult it can be
Right.
to get your citizenship, especially from certain countries, into the U.S.
Yes.
So I felt like that was a space that I could get into, and really it would resonate because of my own experience and my family dynamics.
Right.
And it's so funny how many of us go to school to get an education, and you study a specific item only to veer completely
left.
like completely left field.
Yeah.
I remember when I graduated out of college, and I thought to myself, I was trying to get a job in a law firm, law office, it didn't matter, and how difficult it was at the time. You know, it's just so overly saturated with people in the legal field that I said, okay, this isn't working out. And it was
I never
like,
thought about legal field being saturated. I know
it
real
was.
estate is saturated.
It was, like, to me, it felt like it, because it
Okay.
was like 6 months out of school, and I wasn't getting a bite. It was like hard for me to get a foot in the door.
Okay.
And the reason I was given was, well, you don't have the experience. Well, no shit, I don't have the experience.
I gotta get it.
I gotta get the
Like,
experience.
Sign me up for
Right,
experience. Where do I
right.
go for experience, sir?
I just got frustrated, and then I took the first job that I
Okay.
was offered, and it was a nice offer. I think it was like my first job out the gate. It was like 45 or 50,000 or whatever, and I was
Okay.
like, okay, I'm not gonna sweat it. I'll figure out how to get in later.
Yeah.
And later never came.
Right.
So I went to school for law, but I ended up like in HR payroll. Like, nobody ever wakes up and said, oh, I want to be in HR.
Right. What do you want to be when you get older?
wanna
If my
be
child
in
says, I want to be in HR, I'd be
Right,
like, girl,
right.
go sit down somewhere.
Right. So yeah, It's funny, but when I think about those years, the relationship that I forged, the networking I was able to do, like just being able to understand, like being on my own, you know,
Yeah.
away from my parents, being able to make my own decision, like I wouldn't take that back for anything. So I think that it's twofold. It's the education that you're able to
Yeah.
obtain, but also it's the social dynamics as well. And
Yeah.
being in that environment, I think that there is definitely value there,
Yeah.
still to this day, if that is something that the child wants to do.
Yeah. But I think like even still, so I remember my mom would tell me, like, even while I was in business, my mom would say, well, I think you should go to business school. And I was like, okay. So I went and signed up for for one University of Phoenix, right? Business administration or something like that. And I sat there the whole time. I was like, shit, this is just telling me that I just need to hire an accountant, hire a lawyer. But some people do. I mean, because I already have that hustle and that grind. You know what I mean? Like, I've been self-employed since 17. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to have that hustle and grind. Now, if you don't have a hustle and grind mentality, and you can't learn that, like, there's a difference between book smarts and street smarts. I'm glad I have a good balance between the two, but my street smarts are, well, no, I'm not. I'm unbalanced because my street smarts are heavier than my book smarts.
Okay.
But there's some people that really, like, if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to start a business, like, and you don't have that street smarts, then you're gonna have to, like, you need to go to school
Right.
because these book smarts are gonna have to carry you through for you to, for you to do some things. So
Now, I think you touched on something there because there definitely does, it takes a little bit of a different internal grit, if you will, when you're out there on your own.
yeah,
And when you're in a structured environment like a 9 to 5, you know, some people really feel comfortable and it's okay. Some
Yeah.
people feel like, you know, I like to be given assignments and told when to hand them in and given steps on how to accomplish those particular tasks.
yeah,
Being given time frames as to how much they can take for vacation. Like some people like that.
Yeah.
They flourish in an environment where there's that structure.
yeah,
And then there's others that, you know, like you and myself, I just like my freedom. I mean,
Yeah.
that is truly what it boils down to for me.
Yeah.
It's just having autonomy over my freedom, being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, and not having anybody over my shoulder telling me anything.
yeah. I told y'all I'm allergic to work. I mean, I'm allergic to a 9 to 5,
9 to
like where I
5.
gotta clock in. If I gotta clock in, I think I'm allergic to it.
Yeah.
I break out into hives.
And literally, that's
Literally.
what happened when you went, which is crazy.
I'll never get a job. I pray I never have to get a job. I do. I enjoy the freedom of, like, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's the other thing with the like the formal education is it's the obligation, the financial obligation that comes with that. Like, you know,
Yeah.
coming out of college and having a $80,000 school loan to pay back.
That's disrespectful because then you're working to pay off that loan.
You're working to pay off
Now,
that loan.
but I will say, even as an entrepreneur, like, I love personal development. So I think there's a difference between, like, being college educated, and having to go to college to fulfill your profession. Like, you do need, like, there's some professions that do require it. I feel like if you just kind of don't know and you have the inspirations and passions of an entrepreneur, you might not necessarily need college for certain industries, but then you still need to invest in education and personal development. Because I know I've spent tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands in personal development.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
important.
Like, I still take, even for, like, the incubator we're in now, it still takes studying personal development and things like that. So it's different. Like I said, it's just different ways of education and knowledge that's going to ultimately get you there.
And I consider myself like a lifelong student. I love learning. Whether it's
I know. You do.
I love learning. I don't
I'm
like
like, what are you doing? You're like, oh, I'm studying. I was like, oh, okay. Well, call me when you finish if you want to go
such
get a
a
drink.
nerd. But I love it. I love learning something. I always love learning new things and being in a situation where I can walk away like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I don't like being online so much because I like my attention span is like this.
Yeah, I'm a squirrel.
Yeah, we both are.
Ping, 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 ping.
But you're more of a squirrel, I
I
think.
am.
Yeah.
I have like 82 tabs open on
So do
Google.
I.
I'm trying to plan this family trip, then I'm trying to learn something, then I'm trying to buy a car. It's like it's
It's
just
hard.
yeah,
It's
or design something. It's like all of these tabs, and I leave
yeah.
them open to remind me to go back to them. But then like, I don't even know if I really get anything done like that. I need to do a test on myself. I need to put myself in a lab
Hello.
and test myself. But let's shift over to Pursuitopoly because we're about to get ready to get up out of here and
Yes,
see
yes.
what we got. So last time you were here, we were on self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Then last time we were here, I was on inspiration intersection.
Yes.
And so really quick, so on your
Mhm.
self-doubt, how did you feel over the time that
the
we've
the long. Oh,
have
we
you
just
released
laugh at nothing, I swear.
have you released any self-doubt over the
I have actually. We were talking about really, like, I don't know if you guys noticed the change in format. We're
Yeah.
trying out different things and seeing what works better. But, I think for me, it's always like trying to improve and trying to become better.
Yeah.
Like, I always want to end the day feeling like I did something a little bit closer to attaining the goal that I really want.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be anything huge, right? So when we talked about the self-doubt on the last episode, it was like having those reminders in my head to say, I don't really want to waste time on any type of negativity or any type of aura that anybody is giving off on me that's going to derail what I'm trying to accomplish.
Right.
So it's just keeping that in the forefront of my mind. I walked away feeling like, oh, okay, this is something I struggled with before, but am I like where I still need to be? No, I still have those days and moments where I doubt. And so now it's like more of a conscientious effort to say, as soon as something comes in my head or pops in my head, whether that's internal or from somebody else, I just
Go
like
ahead and
snap
tack
it.
it.
Yeah.
Good. Good job. Go girl.
Yes.
Look at you.
Yes.
All right, let's see what you got.
Okay. So we've got 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Technology Terrace.
Oh. Okay, so this is a good one. Technology has not been an area of strength for me.
I know.
And I am actually in the process of addressing some of the gaps there. So what I mean by that is I'm taking I'm taking some courses that will enhance how I go about, like doing certain things on social media, really expanding my horizons when it comes to like really starting to establish my brand and what it takes to get there, and not allowing the lack of knowledge and technology to hold me back. So I think for me, the education is really helping me become a little bit more confident because
Okay.
it's giving me step by step, like, okay, here's how you do this and here's how you do. And it's like taking away some of the apprehension that I had because in my mind, I'm like, it's daunting.
Yeah.
Thinking about doing certain things in technology that you've never had exposure to or you're just not comfortable with, and not really knowing where to even start to get over that apprehension. The courses that I'm taking are really helping. So I feel like I'm on the right track there,
Perfect.
and I'm super excited. I've learned so much already in the last few weeks. It's amazing.
That's good.
Yeah.
You have to teach me. All right, so I got Snake got 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, Charity Corner. Oh, I love it.
Charity.
Charity Corner. Okay, so this week I will work on. Let me see. We have every year we do a Mother's Day tea party. So last year, the year before last, we did mothers and we did a diaper drive. Next year we brought up a new topic, and I don't want to talk about it yet, but what our corner is, but making steps to, which is another kind of a charity type event. So I'm excited to connect with that organization and see what we can do to build up between now, because we have a while for Mother's Day next year, but start building up that relationship
Awesome.
with that particular charity. So
Awesome.
that was an appropriate one for me.
Good, good.
All right, so let's get up out of here. Let's do our one for the journey and then one for the future.
So my one for the journey is for the moms that have high schoolers that are, thinking about what their next level in life is going to look like after high school, is to start having those conversations sooner versus later, because the time does go by very fast. But also allow your child to understand that there are options, and that they don't have to be pigeonholed into going into one direction. I think it helps for them to realize that, okay, there's more things out there for me than just like going off to college, if you will, after high school. So that would be my one for the journey.
Awesome. I think my one for the future towards charity would be look to give instead of always receive. And I feel like my blessings have come like time and time and time again, because I would be that one to say, how can I serve, or what can I do to be of assistance, or what can I do to make something better? How can I make any room that I go in, or any relationship that I forge? What can I do better in it, or what can I leave valuable in it? And in turn, it just opened so many doors for me. So I guess for me, it'd be working to build a more servant heart, and see where you can give, and
I
then
love
see the
it.
doors that open up for you.
I love it.
So, all right, are you ready to go?
I am kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Well, thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Once again, Game Changer Podcast. You can find us on all our social media channels at Game Changer Podcast, and on TikTok, Game Changer Pod. So we love you. Thank you. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next week.